What if you can travel back in time? Or at least go to a place where it feels suspended in its own sense of time, a slower sense of rhythm, its own pace of life. This is Alentejo, one of Portugal's most overlooked and underrated landscapes. A region that's scattered with picturesque medieval towns and villages. A province surrounded by open plains and vast rural flatlands and beautiful undulating rolling hills. A place of untouched rustic beauty, simmering with character and history. And if your ideal way of living is soaking up in this unpretentious, slower pace of life, then Alentejo is someplace you'll truly remember. Alentejo is the largest of all Portuguese regions, spread throughout south-central Portugal, stretched between the Tejo River and the Algarve. This is a region that's so vast it makes up a third of the entire country. They say that as soon as you leave Lisbon behind, the moment you catch a glimpse of cork oak trees, open plains and gently rolling hills, you've entered Alentejo. But before we go ahead and explore this vast landscape, perhaps it's wise to start at the gateway of the region, practically the capital of Alto Alentejo, the city of Évora. One of Portugal's most prominent and distinguished cities, Évora is enclosed in medieval walls, so well preserved that the entire city is declared a UNESCO World Heritage Site. As you will see, history goes a long way back here. This is a city of magnificent churches, towers, temples, grim chapels, aqueducts, and so much more. Back then, Évora was conquered by the Romans, who ruled over Lusitanian settlement, and then won over during their Christian reconquest during the reign of Portugal's first king, Dom Afonso Henriques, specifically by a knight named Geraldo Saint Pavão, or Gerald the Fearless, which gave the name to Évora's main town square, Praça do Geraldo. History aside, it's plainly mesmerizing to be in a city like Évora. Here it feels like you've really traveled back in time, in a city with a slower tempo, a more laid-back rhythm in life. Some place where you can tuck your phone away, forget about things such as GPS and maps, and just indulge in the real pleasure of simply getting lost in these winding cobblestone streets. And then when you least expect it, find unexpected little gems around corners. Buildings that speak of old world stories. Quaint bookshops waiting for you to explore. Hidden passageways around the city. Even a Roman aqueduct with houses built in them. Tell me, when was the last time you truly got lost, but seem all the happier for it? And then you'll come across a church that's one of a kind, a blend of Gothic, Manuelin, Renaissance and Baroque. This is Igreja de São Francisco, a national monument in Portugal. And it's also unique for one reason, the Chapel of Bones. Many find this a rather morbid place, but on the contrary, I find it truthful, even pragmatic. The Franciscan monks responsible for this in the 16th century exhumed approximately 5,000 corpses from the many graveyards around the city that took up valuable, fertile land. And this is the result. An unapologetic chapel reminding us that life is all too transient. If anything, the inscription above the doorway tells us clearly, we bones are here waiting for yours. This is a memento mori. It's Évora's reminder that death is for the living. It's for us to appreciate all that precious time we have in this world. And What do we do to appreciate all that precious time? We went back to the land of the living to do nothing else but nourish our bodies and souls. Whether it's indulging in regional Alentejana cuisine or enjoying local cheeses and incredible Alentejo black pork, or exploring the local pasteleria and the many desserts they offer, and then tasting some of the finest wines from the region, we appreciated everything Alentejo life had to offer. When I say travel back in time, perhaps that's no more pertinent than in Évora, where a 2,000-year-old Roman temple still stands today, a staunch witness to all that passing time. Originally it was built honoring the first Roman emperor, Caesar Augustus, during the 1st century, when much of the Iberian Peninsula was under Roman rule. While partly in ruins, it's kind of a miracle that this temple still stands today, where 14 of its original Corinthian columns remain, persevering the weight of its history. And just next to the ancient temple is a piece of Gothic architecture that towers over the entire city. This is Évora Cathedral, touted as the largest medieval cathedral over Portugal. While everything about this granite structure is impressive, I loved walking above the roof gallery, where you can see Évora from its highest point, where you can watch the sunset and contemplate about time and history of this place. We explored more of the Alentejo region, and just outside Évora is a restaurant that's truly authentic. Consider us lucky to have a friend, Rosanna, who's an Alentejana herself, who helped us embrace the simple delights of this region.
Today we're at Moinho do Cu Torto, which means the windmill with the crooked butt. We're having a bunch of different dishes, but we also have this tomato soup, which is typical from this area. I love it because it feels really rich, but it has really simple ingredients, right? So we start with a little bit of bread. We make a little dam in our in our plates. Then what we do, maybe you noticed a poached egg in here. We'll leave this place very full. That's for sure. We have some chouriço, some sausage. We have some tocinho, which is, I think, lard or bacon or the fatty part of the bacon. Let's just say this is a bougie addition to an otherwise very simple dish.
Break up. Ooh, it's crunchy. I think I just cooked it. Okay, crumble that on there because I love a little crunch.
Shall we?
Let's do it.
Try to get a bit of bread on you.
Okay.
What do you think?
That is so good. I don't know how authentic how your approval is. She's an Alentejana, but it's got like a little sweetness of the tomato. The tocinho is like salty, crunchy. It's got a lot of textures going on. It's like so vibrant. It tastes like alive. I love it so much.
We simply enjoy the rest of that lunch with the many dishes that followed after, in this splendidly quaint and authentic taste of the Alentejo region. And then later on, we went further to see a spectacular sight. A real Alentejo gem. An untouched, unspoilt medieval citadel, a village made of limestone, schist and shale, incredibly preserving the traces of distant centuries, where streets and walls echo of ancient stories of daring Moors, bold kings and the Knights Templar. The whole area is a monument, and they call this place the village up in the sky. This is magical Monsaraz. Now I know where the magic of this place comes from. Its sense of timelessness. This is a place that perceives time differently, where purer, simpler pleasures can be derived from the slower tempo of life. And we stood there on this castle up in the sky, cut off from the rest of the world, on a place where time stood still, where nothing else mattered but this sunset, this incredible view, this specific time and place, this moment in Alentejo. Thank you for watching another In the Mood for Life episode. As ever, I am very grateful that you're here and appreciating all these videos that I create. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to click subscribe so you'll know all the videos I'll be publishing soon.